Guys, I miss Animal Company. And don't get me wrong, the current version that we have has a lot of cool features. But just from the last year and a little bit over a year of the time I put in this game, it just doesn't feel like it's been the same. If you guys have been here since the OG days, Animal Company used to have the identity of Gorilla Tag and Lethal Company, where you'd have to go and adventure the maps, go and find loot, and earn a ton of your money that way. But it feels like over the last, I would say about 8 to 9 months, Animal Company has been leaning further and further away from that identity. And I know there's definitely a lot of new players that probably enjoy the new goop inventions and, basically all the new items that they keep adding more and more into the game, which I don't think this is the problem. But the one thing that I've been noticing a lot is that players just aren't adventuring out into the map to go and earn money and actually play the Lethal Company side anymore. And I almost feel like that's at the fault of kind of Animal Company going and changing their entire direction. It went from a game being, Lethal Company and having that be the game loop to now just this social sandbox, which inherently isn't a horrible idea, but it's just sad to see as a OG player. I mean, even going over to the sell machine, we have this thing wrapped in the yellow tape. The yellow tape. And in the original days, I remember going and selling my friends in this thing and going and griefing certain lobbies. This used to be a really cool feature in the game, and I almost feel like I rarely even see players using this machine. And maybe I'm just nostalgia baiting and, trying to ride the nostalgia train, but I just couldn't help myself when I was just thinking over the last year of what we've been doing on this channel, just how much this game has changed and whether or not I actually like it or if I'm straying further away from Animal Company. So today, we're going to be doing a OG strat. We're going to be going and running the yellow flashlight. We're going to grab a normal backpack just for the lulz. And then on top of that, I think what we'll do as well, just to make us go really, really OG, we're going to go and rock a crowbar on this too. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to get your guys' opinion on this video. How do you guys feel about Animal Company and the direction it's been going lately? I mean, like I've said before, there's been a lot of good things that I think the game's been adding over time. Like, there's been really cool items, there's been really cool mechanics, but I just can't help but really notice the direction that they have been taking and just kind of take note of that. Because I almost just feel like Animal Company's been taking on so many... Oh! Nope. They have been taking on so many different things over time, which inherently isn't a horrible thing to go and do, but it's just like, I feel like their identity is definitely getting a little bit lost. What the heck? Bro, why is the wormy here? Okay, well, I guess we are a dead man. I was gonna go for a Haunted Mansion run, but we might have to leave those for now. I think instead of going for a Haunted Mansion run, we might instead go for some mining. So I'm gonna go and grab our little crowbar once again, and we are not gonna go that way. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I feel like Animal Company has definitely been adding a lot of cool things in the game, and we've been seeing some pretty decent updates over this time. But I definitely cannot just avoid talking about the fact that my interest for this game has definitely dropped over time. And I think a big part of that is because they've been leaning further and further away from going about their Lethal Company style. That was the very thing that made me fall in love with the game at the start. Like, no joke, it definitely wasn't like the social platform, it wasn't this or that. It wasn't just the items. It was the fact that this game was the first ever to be Gorilla Tag and Lethal Company mixed together. I mean, even just an official Lethal Company VR game. I mean, there's definitely been some mods and stuff for Lethal Company and all that other stuff, but we've never had an official game unlike what Animal Company has been doing here. I'm about to get smashed by Mr. Muscle Man. Holy Hannah. And when I first found this game, wait, did I just get 2 RPGs out of that? That's crazy. But yeah, when I first found Animal Company way back in, what was it, October of 2024, was it? I can't believe it's already been that long. But I think it was October when I first found the game. It was just before the actual Halloween update and stuff. But when I found the game, initially, I was just gonna go and play it once and really never touch it again. But when I went and jumped into it, I realized how fun the game truly was when I tried it. And then obviously over time, the game just kept developing and developing, and I kept falling more and more in love with where this game was going. But then it came to, I would say, just about is a little bit after Easter. I think in 2025 is when I really started to notice a little bit of a decline on where they were going. I feel like around that time, there was a ton of other creators that started jumping on the game, which was a great time for Animal Company. Not only was it good for like publicity of Animal Company, but it was really awesome to see so many new faces going and trying the game as well. But I want to say it was around Easter time, or whatever like really came after the mining update. I feel like everything after mining started to kind of go a little bit downhill. Don't die, please. And maybe that's just like my personal opinion, but that's definitely where I started to notice the decline of where Animal Company kind of started to happen. I mean, granted, there has been some really awesome content that people have been creating on this game, which is, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm so dead. Why is this guy so fast? Dude, I don't understand why the muscle boys are absolute speedy men. Holy Hannah. Okay. Is he gonna come over here? Hello, friend. Did they just like speed him up in this update? Yoink. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no. Yeah, for some reason, you have mega speed. I don't know what's happening here. I just wanted to come into the zone to look for magma cubes, and I have not found anything to those sorts. But yeah, I just feel like Animal Company started to lean a lot more into a direction of just adding new items and different things to the game, which inherently wasn't a bad idea, but eventually that became their core focus compared to the actual adventures and the actual system that the game requires. I mean, even back in the day, I rarely ever had over $1 million, just because I had to go and buy so many kits and actually keep in mind what I was actually doing in the game. But now the game, what the, why are you there? I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still go and play the game like the original way, but it just doesn't feel like there's really any purpose to do it. And the reason why I say that is because we just have so much money in the game now that there's really no point in what we're doing here. You know what I mean? Like, you can still go and do your adventures, you can go and grab certain items and do whatever, but it's just like, why would you do it though? So it's like, what exactly do you do? You know, especially like if you are the devs of Animal Company, like how would you go and tackle something like this? Especially if you notice that the game is changing the way that it is. That is a speedy boy that I do not want to go and take part in. I'm going to go and jump down below. There's got to be a different road I can go, right? I know this video is going to be a little bit scattered, but I feel like that's going to be the most genuine way of going and making this, just because this is like my raw thoughts on how I truly feel about Animal Company. And I mean, why are you here? My beautiful girlfriend, you look amazing. But yeah, even that, for instance, like I can't remember the last time I've decided to go and run to the Haunted Mansion to collect crystals. Like, it's just, there's so many things that are like so out of the way. It just doesn't seem like, you know, there's really any reason to go and do it. Like, if I have $6 million in the game, there's really no reason for me to do anything on Animal Company, other than maybe doing the goop building and, you know, maybe buying items for other players. But after that, there's really nothing for me to go out of my way to go and, you know, kind of do. I don't know why you're down here. That is weird, Mr. Steven. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because nostalgia is completely taking over my brain, which could easily be the case. You know, maybe the new Animal Company is actually more sought for, and you guys actually enjoy where it's at now. But I just can't help myself but think back to, like, even the first Christmas update. Like, the way that felt, man, was just, it was so cool. I mean, being able to go and fight all the monsters and getting those items, like, it generally felt like when you went and fought those monsters, it was actually worth your time to go and fight them and get the items out of it. But nowadays, everyone's a millionaire, and if not, there's probably at least someone in the server that can get you a ton of items. So then, even when you go and do the presents in this update that they went and brought back, it doesn't really have that same feeling of, you know, bringing you items that you may possibly need. Because at the end of the day, most players probably have a bunch of them, or they can just get them from another player. And actually something that I had a conversation with Chubby or Snail a long time ago. This was probably like, I don't know, probably around Easter of last year. I was kind of talking to him about, like, just kind of like how he felt about the state of Animal Company, and he had brought up something about the stash machine. And honestly, this has kind of resonated with me over time, you know, thinking back to it. It's like, the stash idea was really, really cool because it felt like, you know, we didn't have any way of saving our items initially other than just holding them. All you could really have is like 2 items in your hands and a backpack on. But other than that, that was all the items you could save before stash. But once the stash got added in the game, I mean, it brought duplication glitches. It just allowed so many players to store rare items in them. I mean, honestly, I feel like the stash was kind of a blessing and a curse. It was an idea that I definitely was like really for, but I didn't realize the repercussions of what it could actually bring to player economy. Granted, at this point, I don't think Animal Company could ever just go and up and remove the stash, just because it's already so integrated in the game. I think a lot of players would probably be a little bit, saddened to see that actually go. But yeah, I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about the state of Animal Company? Is it a game that you've been grinding a lot, or have you been playing other titles? And if you have been playing other games, what other games should I actually look into? Because, truthfully speaking, I'm definitely considering trying out some other VR games down the road, whether it be monkey games or maybe even just other titles you want to see on this channel. Because I feel like the same thing similarly happened to J-Man Curly back in the Gorilla Tag days, where it just felt like the game strayed too far away from what he loved, and it just wasn't the same for him anymore. And eventually he kind of started to branch out his content, trying other things. So I would love to see what you guys kind of think about that as well. You know what, actually, something I should mention in this video that I generally think could save Animal Company, especially for the future of like these adventures, is the modding scene. I've been talking about this for a long time, and I generally think if Animal Company were to lean into that, that would allow us to have custom adventures and lean into that whole Lethal Company aspect, making it where the devs don't even have to focus on doing those updates, but having modders go and create the things that players actually want to see. Okay, maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but generally speaking, if we had people creating custom maps and adventures where our nuts were actually different from our main characters, that would actually bring back the whole Lethal Company aspect through the modding scene. And then the nice part about that too is, especially with the devs and how hard they're working, it would be able to actually alleviate a lot more of the stress that they're having and allow us to create the experiences that we actually want. Let me know if you think I'm just a crazy man and that modding would break the game entirely and create something that you guys don't want. But I mean, I've been around the VR scene for a very long time, and I've seen the very good things of what VR modding can actually do. Obviously, there are two different aspects to modding. There are people that just do it to go and make the experiences worse for people, but then there's also the other side where people create mods to enhance what the game's original purpose was. I mean, games like Blade and Sorcery, games like Contractors VR. I mean, there are so many games that I've fallen in love with over time, and it's because of the modding scene that brought so many awesome things into it. So, to be fair, I definitely am a bit more biased when it comes down to, the whole idea of adding mods or whatever into this game. But man, I would absolutely adore seeing custom maps in this game. Like, imagine being able to go and, start an adventure with your friends and going into, like, I don't know, like Bikini Bottom from SpongeBob and being able to loot custom items and custom weapons and explore a completely different map that wouldn't have been possible without modding. Truly, that's the type of stuff that could keep Animal Company alive for the years to come. Not just to be a game that's kind of like this little facade that, is fun for a little bit, goes viral, and then eventually dies off, but that would allow the game to live on basically infinitely, depending on how much the players continue to go and innovate with the mods. Maybe I am just a crazy man going and yapping about this stuff, but I just wanted to have like kind of a serious video, referring to this, because I just had the other day, when I was going and playing some Animal Company, I went to the OG version, and it just brought back so many memories, and not even just like memories, but it brought back the love that I used to have for it. This is gonna be hard to move, and that lava's gonna come up. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Uh-oh. This is very bad. Oh, no. Can I just go this way? Let me go! I'm gonna probably die to these guys. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I'm dead. Later, world! I just collected so many magma crystals. No! Okay, well, we just got absolutely destroyed over in the magma zone, but ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to go and make this video and really talk about this topic because it's been something that's been on my heart for probably the last, 6 to 8 months. It's been such a long time coming, and I just wanted to go and bring this up for a little bit more awareness and to see like what you guys truly felt about these ideas and also the state of where Animal Company is. But yeah, with that being said, guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, keep it toasty, my friends. Laters!